Hi guys, I'm back with part 2 of Wife Chronicles. My name is Raylene Payne. I am the author of Wife Chronicles, and this is a book podcast about the book. And just this is an extended conversation about what the book actually meant, what it is, what I want the reader or the listener to understand. And here's the book. Buy it. Buy it. The link is below in the description of this video, and buy it, read it, write in it, understand yourself and the situations that you're currently in, and how journaling, writing will begin to free you. Journaling is just like traveling. You're going to write your way to your destination. That's what you're going to do. You're going to write your way to your destination. And it's a few stops in the journey. It's a few stops. It's going to be some bumps in the road when you're journaling. And that's good, because you want to be able to go back and reflect and see what you went through the day before, last month, last year, because you're going to look at where you're at now and see how much you've overcome and what you learned in. How God changed your situation. What you're going through is not going to stay the same. It's not going to stay the same. What you're going through, if you're going through some troubling situation right now, I want to stop right here and encourage you to let you know that it's not going to always be like this. Trouble does not last always. You're going to say, hey, a month from now, a week from now, like, hey, I feel better. I'm actually getting through this thing. I'm actually feeling like I'm healing, recovering from this condition, from this situation. Things are beginning to look up for me. It's getting better. It's looking all right. That's what you're going to say to yourself. I promise you. I promise you. And so we're going to get into part 2 today. And you'll notice that the dates in my book, they actually are not in numerical order. The reason for this is because, like I said, the first day that I began to actually type out my book, that threw everything out of place. But what happened was the things that I wrote prior to June 23rd, that actually helped me with that current situation. So what I wrote before helped me with my current situation. That's your first point that I want you to write in your journal. I hope you have your journals out. I hope you have your journal titled Wife Chronicles, because this is going to be pivotal for your walk. This is going to be a actual change in the way you think. Your mindset will not be the same after this book, because I want you to understand the importance of journaling. So write that point down. Write this point down, that what you wrote before will help you with your current situation. You're going to be able to start applying those things that you wrote down before. You're going to actually be able to take those thoughts, take those feelings, and you're going to be able to apply it to your current situation. Yes, yes, you will. I'm telling you, this is getting ready to change the game. What you wrote before is going to help you with your current situation. And part 2 gets into discussion of a wife. It's titled, What is a Wife? And if you can't fall back on nothing, always go to the most profound book of this century, the Urban Dictionary. If you can't find out what you're really looking for and how you want it to feel and what you want to say, go back to the Urban Dictionary. And so what we know a wife is a woman who is married to a man. That makes you a wife, right? I mean, flat out. That's just the plain, simple definition. A woman who marries a man who is now her husband, now she becomes a wife. Plain and simple. Urban Dictionary put a little swag on it though. Okay, they put a little swang on it, a little tang on it, and it's defined as this: the beautiful, intelligent, classy, and fulfilling companion of a man that is wise enough to notice such qualities. Hmm. I like that definition. And I was feeling that definition, okay? Because we are every woman. I'm qualified. I got it going on. That what's wrong with these guys? They ain't noticing what God didn't bless me with. Okay, so I like this definition that Urban Dictionary gives: the beautiful, intelligent, classy, and fulfilling companion of a man that is wise enough to notice such qualities. I don't know why they ain't noticing the qualities God done blessed me with. Okay, um, and that sounded good, but as I'm in this actual thing, I'm actually a wife, and I'm trying to figure out what's up. That's true. That sound good. And so God began to give me another revelation to wife, and another definition. And as I go through this journey, I begin to um add to that definition. I wanted to add to the definition, not take anything away. I wanted to add to the definition. And um I notice as I go through this wife journey that a wife is not only getting the fulfillment of companionship, but it's recognizing your heart's desires and marrying those aspects as well. Recognizing, hold on, you got recognize, you better recognize your heart's desires, and marrying those aspects as well. So whether that's career driven, relationship wise, family wise, what is it that you want to recognize? What is your heart's desires? And once you figure that out, now you want to actually commit to it, marrying it. You want to make a commitment. That's what marriage is about: making commitments and sticking it out, and going through the bumps in the road, um no matter what that is, but you're committing to it. And so remember, you want to meet it, date it, engage it, then marry it. And so how do you recognize it? Let's put it in three columns. You want to list your wants, your needs, and what you feel like you deserve. Um so with your wants, needs, and what you deserve, write those things out. A want is to have, a need is required, deserve is something or have or show qualities worthy of. You're entitled to it, you have a right to it, you're qualified for it, it was well earned, merited, you deserve it. Whatever that is, put that in three columns. And if you have the book, you'll notice on page 8 that those are already broken down into columns, and you listed which you want, need, and deserve. Women, we want things, we want companionship, we want families, we want a husband and children. As women, most of us do, and most of us want careers. Most of us want to build an empire for ourselves and for our family, leave a legacy behind. So what is it that you want? What is it that you need? What is it that you deserve? Because if you don't recognize what you want, if you're kind of like just paddling through life, and then you're like, oh, you get to a certain stop. You get to a certain stop in life, and you start trying to figure out, like, okay, what do I really want? You try to figure those things out. And if we figure those things out now, if we recognize it, then we can get somewhere. So you meet it. Okay. You meet it. That don't mean if you meet it, then you got to stick with it. The purpose of meeting is to figure out if it even makes sense. If it don't make sense, then dump it. Get rid of it. Don't keep it. Put it in trash. You don't have to stick with anything just because. So you meet it. Okay. You like it, so you date it. Okay, you want to, see what it's about. You do that a couple of real good 10, 50, 60 times. Then you engage in it. You put effort in it. You put effort in it. Engage it, effort. Engage it, effort. Put effort in it. That means you're going to start putting time in it. You're going to start investing in it. Put effort in it. If it's worth the effort, then you marry it, which all that means is to commit. So whatever those things are, figure it out. Let's figure it out. We got to recognize it. We got to get to the realization of things and figure out what it is that we want in life. That's my definition of being a wife. I added to the Urban Dictionary's definition. It's not taken away. Yes, we as women, we want companionship. We want a husband at some point. Majority of us, and we want careers, we want families, and we want to leave a legacy behind for our grandchildren and their children, and we want to leave these things behind, but we have to make good choices now. What do we try to hold on to that we've actually met it, dated, we've engaged it, and now we committed to things that we need to unmarry? We need to let go. What are your connections? And if you say to yourself, with any of these things that are attached to you, if you find yourself kind of questioning it, is it worth continuing putting the effort in it? Like, we put effort into things that have no substance, that's no good for us. We held on to it when we met it because we felt like we didn't have a choice. But nah, we have choices, and it's about recognition. And now is a good time to recognize all 3 qualifications in your life. I want you to write it down in your personal journal, or here in the Wife Chronicles book. This is your journal. If you don't want to get a notebook out, maybe you want to share the book, and so you want to write in your personal journal. But recognize these 3 qualifications, and we're going to be back with part 3. I want you to write down all your wants, needs, and deserves, and I want you to pray about it. See what pops up in your brain. See what's going on. And I want you to kind of like just spend a good amount of time figuring out this list. Don't rush it. And if you write out your list, even the things that's going on in your current life right now, if you write out what you currently are attached to, that are wants, needs, and your listing of deserves, if you write out what your current list is, your pros and cons of your wants, needs, and deserves, that the situations that you're in now, if you write those things out, reflect on it. Maybe you need to start crossing some things off your list. All right. This is part 2 of Wife Chronicles. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back with part 3. Thanks for tuning in to the Wife Chronicles.